Big streak. Hell yeah, it's a big streak. Just like the streak of excellent ARPGs, Diablo 1, Diablo 2, and then hold on. Well, but after that one, damn true. How you guys doing this fine evening? On myself, Exilin' and Pathin. Hell yeah. Leading up to big AOS hype eventually. What's the song? The song is called D4 Bad, as in Diablo 4. I don't know. I heard it on Alkaiser's stream one time and it was funny. It's an old meme, sir, but it checks out. So Sean Blake. Yeah, Diablo 4. Hence the little skit at the beginning. Oh, CJ Busta knows. He knows the truth. So remember last time when we were discussing main screen turn on. Remember last time when we were discussing that I'm starting to figure out how crafting works in this game. They added so many new crafting things and I cracked the code. I'm starting to crack the code. And I made a weapon that I didn't think I could sell because it was so good. I searched for the equivalent stats of the weapon that I crafted on the trade forums, and there were none. Like, there wasn't a weapon with plus or minus 10% of all of the stats that my weapon had. And so I just put it for 100 div. And I'm like, no one's ever going to buy this, but I'm just putting it there just to show the world, you know, to have it out there. And then eventually somebody else put theirs up that was significantly worse than mine, and they put it up for 70. And then finally someone put one up for, I want to say like 45 or something, that was pretty close to mine, but just a little worse. And then I instantly price matched, my better one the same exact cost as theirs, each shit, and someone bought it. So I was briefly rich. In PoE. And then I used all that stuff to craft more stuff. Except this time not to sell, just to like use. So now Craterhoof Behemoth Esquire is decked. He is decked out. And Cabal Ritual, I'm working on her. Last two things really is a glove and a new robe. But some of the resistances kind of rely on each other. So I got to do the robe first. You have an inexplicable big from somebody else did a big? Monty G Big. You know, I like the cut of their jib. I feel like mine has a little more production value, you know? But I appreciate where they're coming. A big appreciator, you know? It's looking good. She caw on my ball till I ritual. True. All right. And I switched some things up here. I'm trying to like find damage somewhere against single target bosses. And I'm using a new skill they added called Shield Wall, which puts down, as you might expect, a shield wall. And then next time you Warcry, it explodes. And it does damage based on how much armor your shield has. And so I have 1,000 armor shield. And then also, it does 100% more damage if it's destroyed by your own skills. So that's good. And then even more if it is, and so on and so forth. I'm like trying to find boss damage on this guy. He's pretty good at clearing. And he's pretty big. On as far as defenses are concerned, I managed to cap armor at 90%, so we're at 40,000 armor. And then I have 7% additional physical damage reduction due to my shield. And then I'm over-capped on block at 52%. So 52% of the hits coming in are fully, like, just do 0 damage, do no damage. And this is everything except the unblockable red hits of bosses. Everything else can be blocked. So that's a good amount of avoidance there to add to the mitigation. And then I have enough elemental damage reduction against hits, because we got armor also applies to elemental damage stuff on a lot of places, also on the tree. And I actually have quite a bit more than 100% of my armor applies to elemental, and I guess it just keeps going. I have 40,000 armor, but almost 100,000 armor against elemental. And then also resistances are capped, plus chaos. And then also his main skill, which is Bone Shatter, has Life Leech on it, so I heal 16% of the physical damage it deals. And it deals like 17,000 plus 54,000 times 10. So when I press Bone Shatter, it puts me at full life, essentially. That's the long and short of it. So I'm trying to not die and do some damage. I got an infusion on the amulet. It's Lay Siege, plus 1% increased damage per 1% chance to block, and I have a 52% chance to block. So you get 52% bonus damage from that. I'm using both a heavy stun into a shield wall, into a Hammer of the Gods, into a second shield wall. And that's like the boss combo where I'm trying to kill bosses and stuff. I ended up picking up Scavenged Plating. So you get another 20% overcapped armor. Picked up Berserk because I'm a little bit into Rage here, just for another, whatever, I think it's 30% plus 68% of that. So like about 50% bonus damage from stuff, as long as it's a boss fight or I've been killing stuff recently. And then, of course, Magma Barrier, which simply just gives you 30% block chance, which I need to be able to become capped because I ran out of points. And then I'm playing Forge Hammer, which is the funny ability. Because it's fun to throw the hammer and get it back, and sometimes you just want to have a ranged attack. And you just press the button again, grabs it back. It's fun to just use. And I had one more skill, so there it is. And that's this guy. I made myself pretty happy with this one. I made it from scratch. I made it from a blue. We got all the way up to +6 level to all skills, 161 increased physical damage, 30 to 54 fizz, some fire, reduced attribute requirements, which with Titan's Grip requires you to triple the strength requirement on stuff. It lets me hold this thing. Otherwise I kind of couldn't. And I tried to Abyssal craft it into increased attack speed. And I did, but it's a very low roll. And it can get up to like 25 or something like that. But we take it. I needed any sort of attack speed on a two-hander that I can get. And that's the state of the game for Craterhoof Behemoth. He continuously enters the battlefield, obviously, by just leaping. And we got Bone Shatter, and I'm trying to find stuff that can technically sometimes kill bosses. But still, Cabal Ritual is there for the, I would say, the difficult content. But maybe I'm underestimating how huge this man actually is. Also 420 strength. Nice. Funny number. CG Busto playing king.com.ru 2. Has the big patch come out yet? Or are you just like kind of getting yourself familiarized with it again for when it does? Oh, it drops tomorrow. Big hype. Nice. Sweet. As far as the tree, I went ahead and did my 4th Ascendancy on Craterhoof. Chaos Sanctuary, of course. Certainly not Sanctum. This was we did Ultimatum for sure. First try, just went through it, killed the guy, it slammed, and now 50% more armor from equipped body armor, which is one of the reasons we got up to 40k. I could go way higher than that, but I'm already at the cap. I already have scavenged plating. I want to keep the spirit on the chest piece. I don't know how much more useful it would be to go higher than that, but I guess it would matter to go higher than that, because although your armor is capped at 90%, I don't think your resists are. Somebody said it says they are, but in the coding deep within, maybe it's not. I'm not sure. I'll have to check the tapes on that. I got pretty normal tree, except as you can see, I'm taking more armor nodes than normal just to get up to the cap, and of course some shield stuff. I like these time lost rubies. I think these are really excellent. I think to me they lean into the Titan's strength, and the Titan's strength is hulking form. 50% increased effect of small passive nodes. That does not mean stat nodes. It means any small node that isn't a stat node, right? So this is, instead of whatever this is normally, 15%, now it's 22%. You know, normally this is 20, now it's 30, so on and so forth. And with these time lost jewels that create radii, that create radii, radiuses, I don't know. Anyway, it adds stuff to the nodes that you're taking within there. And those things that are added are landing on small passive nodes, which are then also buffed by the hulking form thing. So I'm double dipping. I'm triple dipping. Radii, I guess it would be, right? And so we got bonus armor on this one, and 21% increased effect of small passive skills in radius, which means 71% increased effect of small passive skills, of which I'm taking a lot. These are the ones where armor applies to your elemental stuff. I went over here and took some damage and AoE nodes that I was going to anyway, and it soups those up. And then over here I got one that adds armor and rage when you are hit by an enemy. And then I took some nodes that I wouldn't have otherwise taken. I would have found my damage elsewhere. Like, instead of here and here, I think there are better places to get AoE, and there are better places to put damage nodes in. Like, maybe right here to get the Skull Crusher, which is really excellent, and there's an AoE node somewhere over here that's kind of nice to take, but I chose the ones within the circle to get the extra value. Extra value. And then, of course, Lay Siege is the allocate, or instill, or whatever you want to call it. Anyway, that's the weekly recap here, daily recap of briefly becoming rich and then crafting even more stuff. With some of the essences, particularly, there's some cool interactions between the essences and the abyssal stuff, which is rather quite nice. You can continue. I had discovered by accident that when you use an essence, and I'm talking perfect essences, on something that has an unrevealed, and it probably works on stuff that's been revealed as well, abyssal modifier, it can devour the abyssal modifier. And when it does, you can use an abyssal modifier again. So if you have something with garbage suffixes on it, you can blast perfects until it replaces them, and then re-abyss it. And you can also do the get rid of the abyssal thing by using the annul rod, or the orb of annulment right-click thing, but it's super, super, super expensive. You can also re-roll them. Anyway, I'm having a grand old time over there. And then as it pertains to my lady, K-Ball Ritual. I upgraded. I had the old boots at 24%. I got new boots at 20, or I got new boots at 30, and then sold the old ones. We've upgraded our spirit reservation. Remember last time in the Atlas tree, I got 2 towers right next to each other, these two, and I put 3 tablets that all added to the spirit finding spirits %. And so in the overlap zone, places have 175% increased chance to find spirits. And in the Atlas skill tree, spec fully into spirits. Specifically, Vivid. Now, before I was doing Primal, because I was trying to get the helmet talisman for Lady. But I got those. And so now we switched over to Vivid to get the glove talisman for the warrior. And these things are ludicrously expensive. There's 6 divines each for each gem, which is crazy. But nobody likes to do spirits. They're annoying and slow. And the drop chance is like you'll never find one, so I get why they're expensive. But I thought I would do some target farming, and so I did. And we're on Helm with 6% increased reservation efficiency of minion skills, which means our minions cost less spirit to summon. And then Darkness Enthroned Fine Belt with 93% increased effect of socketed gems, and the socketed gems count as though they're in the helm, which is the exact one that we want, with double of those in it. And I also, this one was actually harder. It took me a long time to acquire this thing, but I finally got a +2 level of all minion skills offhand. And +3 on the main hand. And so we're sitting on 7 individual minion types. Times 7 is 49% bonus damage on all of them, and it's more, not increased, so it's multiplicative. Because the number of minions you have out times 7 for muster. And then we are up to 6 cocaine ants. We are up to 6 at level 29. There is a route to potentially get another one, but I really don't think so. I think we might be capping out on the number you can feasibly have without I think there's like 2 or 3 ways to get a crazy amount of spirit, but I got a handful of divines, but I didn't get that rich, so chill. I could find I think you can get up to 61 spirit on a sacramental robe, and so the next order of business is to get a 61 spirit sacramental robe that's blue, so we're picking up all of them, and then just start crafting and try to get perfect everything. And with that, I could probably bump it up to 7 ants. We'd be hitting the hard limit that the gravity well of the universe can manage there, at least while having 6 other pets out. Anyway, so that's the update. What have you guys been working on? All of the new content is in the second area, so you started a new game hard mode to get back into the role, yeah. Do you have multiple characters, or do you restart every time? With each new league, I just make new characters. So, Joe Gertho here was my League 1 character, and then I had ICBM Chan, who was a little alt that I never did much with. Same with Dark Rit. But yeah, I played Standard Titan Season 1, and then I played a Smith of Katava Season 2, and now I'm back to Titan Season 3. Although I finally made like a real alt instead of a fake alt that I don't do anything with in Cabal Ritual. So these are the 2 characters I'm playing this league, and this is last league. I haven't logged in, I don't think, since on him, and then this is first league. So hey, all right. And so it's time for, I don't know, a little bit of maps, a little mapping. I'm almost out of spirit places here. I have like this one, a few over here that are technically inside of the zone. Some of them have a lot of stuff in them, and some just have nothing, but I'm still going. Because technically... Oh, I must have attempted that one. Oh, I probably did with a different character, yeah. Anyway, some of these have stuff, some of these don't have stuff. But what's this? 3, 4. Sure, we'll do this one. Val City. I think that's fairly typical. I don't... In Diablo 2, it was pretty rare, I think, for the average player to be re-rolling every season. I think people just like played the game and then stopped, and played the game and stopped, and they were doing it on like single player or maybe over LAN or something like that. But PoE really is seemingly almost all about leagues. Very few people still play their character after the league is over. Maybe I'm misrepresenting, but it's the feeling I get from it. Maybe that's because that's what all the content creators do, and all the people don't. Like maybe all the people play however they please, you know. But especially in early access, where they keep adding stuff, I think getting a fresh take on it is probably the way. You know? Where they're like, hey, we added Act 4 and interludes, and we changed up how stuff works in this thing in Act 1 and this other thing in Act 2, and this skill and that skill. There's no more cruel difficulties, so you only have to play the campaign once. At that point, like, you might as well start a new character just to see all of the different ways that they change the game. Are you going to be streaming that, CJ? Getting some second monitor Kingdom 2 gaming? Or is this not a public display of Kingdom? The difference has become very noticeable between these two characters. The warrior is so fast, and the witch is so slow. But the witch is so much better. It is slower though, and to a lot of people, slower means worse. And they're not entirely wrong even, so there's that angle to keep in mind as well. Wait, there's a spirit. Hello. Oh, you're gonna go the opposite way than the things on my minimap? Fine. One of the annoying part of spirits is you can get a little ahead of them and by accident kill the possessed rare before it fully possesses them. And it cancels your spirit sometimes. So you have to be careful about that. Yet another thing that makes spirits even worse is you have to, like, not only you have to go really slow, but you have to, like, be careful you don't accidentally kill the thing. They changed it so that it makes the monster invincible while it's getting possessed, but you can still kill it a little early. Also, I took the thing where sometimes you can get possessed twice, which is why the spirit's still around. Oh wait, that's a checkpoint. That's a checkpoint. Grab that real quick. Researcher strongbox. The good kind. Perfect jeweler's orb. Don't mind if I do. Thank you. I'll take that shrine. I don't like shrines. The monsters around the shrines are gaining their benefit right away, so a shrine is extra deadly. And it's annoying to click on. Half the time you try to click on the shrine, it thinks you want to click on a monster next to it. Which is annoying and often dangerous. And their effects aren't any good for the most part, except the speed one and the rarity one. and it just adds to the visual clutter, and I end up clicking it off just to give me a smaller chance of soft crashing, you know? Oh wait, I went the wrong way. Spirit. Baron Spatula. First time chatter. Hello, Mr. Ogor. Got any swamp wisdom for Slam Titan wanting to get their 4th Ascendancy? Yeah, the 4th Ascendancy is hard. Particularly on Warrior, as you know, you are a Warrior. I played Warrior 3 seasons now. Although right now I'm on a Witch, which was my alt and became my main because it's just better than the Warrior, no offense. But it's much slower, so there is that. It's way worse at clearing. But it shits on bosses and the Warrior has to sweat to do that stuff. First, before I give you advice on the 4th Ascendancy for Warrior, which I have done, I'll give you advice on the 4th Ascendancy on the Witch. But what I did was, I went into Chaos. I went into the Ultimatum one. And I just walked from one end of the entire temple system to the other, and my minions killed everything. And then I put the 3 things in at the door at the end, and then I got that guy to like maybe 20% life, and he stopped time. And then time started again, and my minions just killed him. Didn't know or care what anything did. Just sort of moseyed around in a little circle, and my minions just destroyed everything. So, there's your guide on how to get the 4th Ascendancy on a non-warrior. On a minion class. So I hope that helps. As far as doing it on a warrior, I usually wait forever. I delay it. I don't do it until, oh, jeez. I'm capable of dying. Imagine. Anyway, where was I? So what I was doing on the warrior was, I usually just wait until level 90 or 91. Like, I don't do it early. I did it very early on Lady here. She's good unless there's breach, I guess. Then she gets blown up. Damn. All my big talk. Anyway, I wait for the 4th Ascendancy forever. I don't have good advice for the tricks and traps one. I find it too hard to beat the scorpion at the end. For the 3rd one. I do ultimatum. So my number 1 tip is wait till level 90 or so and do ultimatum. Wish I was on my warrior right now just to show a thing or two. What's your spec? Scorpion is easy, or about the 4th boss? The 4th boss is even yet harder. I consider the ultimatum boss to be just very easy. On any class, even warrior. You get to pound on him for a while. You can stun him and do your stun combo. And then he stops time and swings in 3 different areas. Simply avoid the red. When he does the spear thing where it looks like he's about to throw the spear at his feet, you dodge roll away because that hurts. And you should be able to... It's... I gotta say, as far as like boss fights, if you're concerned that he'll be really hard, I think he's actually quite not too bad. You know, dodge roll when you think you should be dodge rolling. And you can stun him and kill him in probably 2 stuns, or maybe 3. It's mostly an avoidance thing. Volcanic Fissure Shockwave Totem Spam. Oh, cool. I saw Waggle doing that. As a Warbringer, right? Warbringer's a spec I haven't played before. Oh, you play as Titan though, okay. I know you can mix it up. The Warbringer, what you really get out of that thing is +1 totem, which is really good. And no cooldown Warcries, which is also really good. But it's actually, I think, a trade-off or maybe personal preference or something if you want to go Titan totems. You do get a lot of juice as a Titan. That 50% small passive node thing is pure juice. It is value. That's for sure. Particularly good with the time loss jewels. On my warrior anyway. I use 2 of the time loss jewels. Because you essentially get to double dip on them. All those small passive nodes that now grant extra stuff in the radius also grant 50% more of that extra stuff, and so you get the double dip. I don't know what totem spam shockwave exactly wants, you know, to target or something like that, but as far as stats or whatever. What should you build next? Possessed Chaos Space Marines or Chosen? Without knowing what any of them look like, Chosen. Oh, I did get an Abyssal Depths. Nice. Alright, I'll return to that once I have moved around here a little. Hurts your eyes more than hurts your enemies. Me, when I used to be using Val Guards that threw the grenades that cover the floor in fire and lava. I switched off of those guys because I actually could never... You can't see the ground. It lays on top of all the ground effects. And so you have 0% visibility about what you should be avoiding. Now these guys kind of do that too, these ants, but at least they're nice and fast. Anyway, Baron Spatula, my recommendation is... I wouldn't normally recommend this. I would just say, you know, just try it. It'll be fine. But it requires a resource to even try him, right? You got to get to the end, and then you got to put in the left wing, center thing, right wing thing. And since you're spending a resource, I mean, actually, this might sound a little cringe. Watch a video of someone killing him. And not one of those videos where he gets one shot. Just like a video where somebody's like huffing and puffing, you know, honestly killing the boss. Ethical boss kill, you know? Because it's such a huge difference between visually seeing it one time and being told about it. Visual learner kind of thing, I guess, or something like that. Wait, Sacramental Robe, I want that. Sacramental Robe is the robe I am targeting for the next craft. You have 2 level 75 Sakahama trials. You can quite comfortably get to floor 4, but you're not sure how you can handle that floor. I never figured that floor out on a warrior, to be honest. I got to the 4th floor several times, and they just bled me out of honor. Like every room, I would just lose too much honor, and eventually it just bled me out. And I'm like, fuck it, I'll try Chaos. And I find Chaos, or Ultimatum anyway, to be much more palatable on warrior. Now I play like super melee warriors, and I guess totems you can maybe sit back a little bit and do some ranged stuff, depending on your build. But yeah, in general, my advice is I usually wait till higher level. I do Ultimatum, and you can do it on a 75 if you feel the need for a little extra, but honestly, the difference between a level 75 and an 80, as far as Ultimatum is concerned, is less than the difference between simply getting lucky and not having to choose whatever random option on floor 6 that partially destroys your build, you know? But I'll take that kind of randomness over the length of Sekihana. I'm quite done. I guess I'll wait. So hey, apologies. I don't have good advice on the 4th floor of Sekihan. I don't think I've ever gotten to the end. I tried it. I think I tried it twice. I got to floor 4 twice. I just kind of started learning the mechanics, but I ran out of honor just so fast. And then I'm like, I'll do Ultimatum instead. It seems more built for what Warrior wants to do, which is just smash stuff instead of avoid things in a trap room, which I am bad at. You know, play to your strengths sometimes. The one thing that always messes you up in the trial is the big fizz explosion one. The blood over your head, or the giant doom circle. The giant ass red circle, yeah. There's the two different death circles you can get. There's the giant red death circle, and then there's the lightning circles, which can get almost that big, but not quite that big. The first few times I was doing Ultimatum, I would avoid those as much as I could. And then eventually not like coming to a realization, but I'm just like, you know what? I need to stop clicking this "you can't stun enemies" thing, or you have less defenses. I would just focus on choosing the ones that don't destroy your build, like what your character is based on. And if you gotta avoid the stuff, then avoid the stuff, and if it takes a little longer, it's fine. It's preying on your impatience, a lot of those. Although the big doom circles, when you're fighting the tornado bird boss, sometimes you have a choice between standing in a doom circle or standing in a tornado, and the tornado will kill you more likely. But it's a rock and a hard place. Thing worth anything? No. But you can go there for now. I can't remember if I completed this map or if I just left to put stuff away. Did I complete the map? I did, okay. You got a bit of a Riku on gear and a ton of armor applying to elemental damage. Dude, I've been really enjoying that. I was one of the ones everybody said Warrior was going to suck this season. And to me, it looked like that was true. I'm like, damn, by the looks of it, really looks like Warrior is going to suck this season, you know. There's no way they could give enough elemental damage applying through your armor to make that thing worth a damn, because it affects it before you do your resistances, right? Is what everyone said, and that made sense to me. And I'm like, damn, yeah. And then the shield thing got nerfed. You can only get 50%, but it can block anything, but you can only get 50%. And they reduced the floor, not the ceiling, so you start out with less, and it makes it harder to get all of it, you know? And so I'm like, damn, I think Warrior is going to suck this season. Well, playing Warrior, we'll see if they're right. And, you know, it turned out, I think Warrior's pretty good this season. I was not prepared for how much of the armor applies percentage they were going to put on gear. I didn't think they'd let you get like 200%, which I have on my Warrior. Like, we were theory crafting like, maybe if you fill up every slot or something, you can get 100% perhaps. No, they let you get higher than that. There's actually a lot of it on the gear. I feel pretty tanky, actually, like considerably. You know, I end up probably dying more than the witch, but she's way more fragile. It's just that, you know, I get to stay out of harm's way with her, and you have to play risky with a Warrior because you've got to get into melee. And also, pet classes kind of suck at breach. If I want to do breach, I would much rather be on the Warrior than this witch. But yeah, armor feels great. Shields feel great. Getting to the cap was not tricky at all. Especially when they give you that spirit passive to use if you wish, if you have that much spirit open for it to help you out if you're kind of building towards it. I found Warrior pretty nice. The the place I suffer, and maybe you don't. I was wondering, I wanted to kind of talk to somebody maybe who is doing the totem thing. Because Warbringer and totem spam is a playstyle I have not yet done. And so, you know, typically with a warrior, and this season it's the same, your clear is excellent. You know, you blow up the whole screen, you leap from place to place, you're actually pretty fast. You just blow up the whole screen. You're not Deadeye fast, but you're like reasonably fast. And you blow everything up and you're good at clear. And then when it comes to the boss, like a boss fight, you are kind of embarrassing. Doing some gimmicky ass, like, stun the boss and try to get this goofy, like, 1, 2, 3 hit combo off on him. And if they don't stand still or whatever, then you're using the most awkward, janky ass fucking stand still and try to do a perfect strike while people teleport around you crap. And it's just not a good look. You can do it. It does work. You can kill the pinnacles and all the rest. But it's not nice. It's like awkward and all of the abilities are not fun for some reason. Like they're all kind of flawed as far as like big single target kill the boss moves. Now is that also true for Warbringers who are doing totem spam or not? Do you just shit on bosses and that's why totem, well, I said Warbringer, but I know you're not Warbringer. Is that why totem spam is sick? Or is it just visually cool and an alternative way to play? Another depth, lucky. We'll come back to that later.
Now, death is my power to wield.
Oh, geez, I was about to say, how come nothing dropped? I have so many ultimatums, I'm just throwing them away now. I couldn't even do all of them if I tried. (1-800) Are you slamming? Absolutely slamming and jamming. Quad Cities DJ style. Charles Barkley, Shut Up and Jam 2 for the Sega CD. I don't think that game came out on the Sega CD. It may have. I have this memory of it, but it could be a hallucination. Any fact checkers in chat? Did Charles Barkley Shut Up and Jam 1 or 2 come out on the Sega CD? I think it did, and it had FMV in it. But that might have been like real backyard full motion video, just crap NBA game, like famously bad anyway, but it's been too long now. Anyway, thanks for the follow. It's visually cool, and with armor break applying the fire damage taken from hits as a passive. Ooh, I didn't know that passive exists. That's a nice passive. Pretty sweet sustain. A lot has changed since you last saw me. I'm not like a VTuber now. It's just I'm lazy. And I don't have to turn on a light. I don't have to do my hair and makeup, you know? They're fairly just chilling streams anyway. It's not like a real stream, you know? We're just chilling. And I don't want a light in my eye all the time. Although I feel my power level starting to return to me. Because as the days grow colder and the nights grow longer, autumn approaches. And after that, winter approaches. And my inverted seasonal depression disorder. Normally people get depressed in the winter. I have the opposite issue where I'm depressed in the summer. I feel my power coming back. It has something to do with the great skin cancer heat lamp laser beam in the sky getting relatively farther away due to the tilt of the axis of the Earth. Daylight hours getting shorter and the temperature generally no longer being that of the inside of a Reynolds wrap container in Guadalupe frying a chicken outside at 210 degrees. Omen of Abyssal Echoes. Don't mind if I do. Hey, step into my office. Not bad. And before anybody says anything, I liked the winter more than summer even when I wasn't fat. Young HeyWoah with a six-pack and everything still preferred the winter, so eat shit. I don't think an Anvil Mall is the right level. Yeah, 67. I still haven't redid my... loot filter, and every time I say, I gotta redo my loot filter. And then I don't. Yeah, PNG tubing. With the Sandwich Ogre here from Age of Sigmar. He's just eating his little sandwich. Oh wait, that's not the end. If you position Forge Hammer correctly, you can get so many hits at once. Oh yeah. I'm not even a fire build. And I use Forge Hammer just for fun. Like, I just have it truly as Jonathan Rogers intended. Like, just as Richard Garfield intended. Because we get to use whatever gems and whatever skills now, you can just juice up some random ability and be able to just press that button and have it be good. And so I use Forge Hammer just to whip at some guy who's over here with some fucking wizard casting a drowning ball spell, and you're running over here and you just whip the hammer at him and one-shot him. And then sometimes when you're doing a boss fight, you can lay it down and then your slams will of course cause it to trigger and everything, but it's a fun ability. I think it's my favorite new fire ability is the Forge Hammer. It probably looks the coolest, and it's also just pretty useful. Even when you're not going all in on the synergy of it, which is rare. Charles Barkley, Shut Up and Jam was on Sega Genesis. Yeah, I'm aware it was on Sega Genesis. I think it was also on Super Nintendo, but I was wondering if it ever got a Sega CD release or not. Because some games got both, but I don't think it did. Anyway, good answer. Skywarp.
Good job, King.
Okay, one complaint. We do have a lot of currency now.
Good job, King.
I'm gonna say that this is technically not a complaint because currency is amazing and I really like all the crafting that they've added, but there is a lot of currency that's dropping. Femong, thanks to the tier 1. 52 months. And Death 1942, thanks to the tier 1. Big loot stream. Oh, we're looting. Witch Gaming. Yeah, I was just about to switch over to the Warrior after this one. I'm kind of hot swapping back and forth. Like, in my mind, I'm just swirling between Slam Titans and Cocaine Ant Maidens. We're up to 6 ants. We're up to 6 ants and 7 minions. But she's still a complete glass cannon. I wouldn't have it any other way. And she's slow. But boy, does she blow bosses up. Yeah, which is just Necromancer. You got your minions. There's a minion gameplay style. There's a Blood Mage gameplay style that's really good. There's a Lich ascendancy where you become a Lich, like your life total can't change as long as you have Energy Shield. You can put a jewel in your ascendancy thing and you gain like double the powers from that jewel and it acts as your phylactery. It's sick. Actually, my intent was to go Lich this season, but Infernalist was so good for pet class that I went Infernalist instead because you get a big dog. And you can permanently sacrifice half of your life for juice power, which I have done. I got knocked down there. What talisman? Oh, cat talisman, okay. You are armor rending maxing with your warrior? Same. Armor breaker, stun builder, flammer jammer, resident leaper. Alright, let's try this breach, but it might get rough. Breach specifically, I can sometimes get overwhelmed. Oh, apparently so can the game and my graphics card. I hit escape, don't worry. You're level 51 on your warrior, nice. I can give you leveling advice if you'd like any. I'm sure you've played the game before, so no big deal. If not. What class would you suggest for a fresh PoE 2 player? How familiar are you with the genre? Like, did you play Diablo 2 back in the day? Did you play Path Exile 1? Are you like a... whatever that other one was called, like Last Oracle? What's the other one? Played the genre but not hardcore, okay. Mythic Katava is kind of meh. Last season it was excellent. They swept the leg. It's not terrible, but look, it's he's in the hospital, Mythic Katava, and he is recovering from an injury. He's not in the ICU or anything. It's not code blue, but he is maimed. He got maimed. And the armor adds to elemental defense thing doesn't actually jive too well with what he's trying to do. Because your chest doesn't actually have that much armor on it because it's a fake chest. Anyway, I'm sure it'll be fine moving forward. But yeah, Smith had a rough one there. We're gonna kill Baraka. Yeah, Titan and Warbringer are good. You could go one of two ways, and I think both of these are decent suggestions. Now, flavor this suggestion to your personal preferences. I don't know what kind of things you like to do. For instance, in ARPGs, I like to play melee guys and pet classes. Those two things. I don't like to play ranged characters. I don't like to play wizards or bow guys or rangers or spell things. I like to play huge melee classes or pet classes. One of the two. That's just what I gravitate towards. So this might not work for you, but if it does, I have two suggestions that are almost antithetical. The first is start with warrior. The first time you play the game, it ought to be on a warrior. Because leveling is kind of a struggle. And at times it'll feel sort of hard even. A little bit of like an ARPG Dark Souls kind of thing. And it'll be good for you, and it'll be a nice experience, and you'll get the entire arc. Because the whole point of an ARPG, and especially this one, is that you start out some barely living castaway on a beach drowning, stab a zombie with the high-heeled shoe of some chick whose purse washed up on the shore next to you, right? And you start there and you get all the way up to the god. You are the god now, right? At the end. So that's suggestion 1. Suggestion 2 is start with whatever the meta build is that everybody says is the best and most powerful. Because that's just fun. And the next league, do it again. Monk is also a decent choice. But I think if you play something kind of rough, there's only upwards mobility for you to go. But if you start out with the overpowered thing, you won't. It's a lot harder to step back down, I guess. Yeah, the story isn't half bad, actually. Anyway, well, I have 56 chaos res is giving monsters 20% of damage as extra chaos worth it. What else are the options? I'm sure you're past the time that you could have made that decision, because I read that and it's a little bit of an older message. But I found that it isn't that bad. The 20% bonus damage as extra chaos, that's not that bad. It sounds bad, but when you really think about it, it's only adding, because you have 56%, it's only adding about 10% extra damage. That's not even a critical hit, right? It's the second one that's the troublesome one. Blood globules, big blood orbs, or 20% skill speed for monsters. I don't think I would ever do 20% skill speed for monsters. It's extremely bad, especially on bosses. That bird that summons the tornado with 20% skill speed is ridiculously annoying. Big blood orbs are okay. If you're in a pinch, you can take that. Bird is already dead. It was the first one. Okay. If the last one is the Chimera, taking skill speed is completely safe. It'll just be annoying. The boss will just like fly and land just over and over, but it's not actually any more dangerous. So skill speed is a decent choice if the Chimera boss is going to be your last boss and you're close to it. Blood globules, I think you mean the ones for you mean the ones that hover over your head, or the ones that appear when you kill an enemy? Here, I'm gonna log on the warrior just so there's no frost explosion on loop noise nonstop in town for no other reason. I generally don't like to take the red blood from slain enemies follows you around for a little while and then explodes thing, because eventually you'll mess up. But if you're like 6 out of 10 already, then I've chosen it before. You just got to kind of sit up in your seat a little bit and really pay attention to that. Volatile Fiends is a no-go. Okay. Volatile, is that the one I was describing where the red shit follows you around after you kill an enemy? And since... Oh, you're on the last boss now? Let's go. Big. Keep me updated. Anyway, we're entering Slam Town. Shall I do a Corrupted 15? Crit, extra fire, ailment threshold, break armor, stun, monster life. Bramble. I think Bramble guys slow you, so I might die here. Getting slowed is the worst. The most deadly the most dangerous thing you could put on a map is like temporal chains, frozen ground.
Come here. Face me. Meat creature.
Meat creature. Alright, big person finally came out. On the Abyss, you gotta wait. You wait a little bit when they all start coming out, because the boss comes out last, and you definitely want to make sure your giant AoE hits that boss, because you have to fight it alone. Sometimes it can be annoying. And always instantly move after you kill stuff when you're around the Abyss, because the Abyss is crazy deadly. It has these degen pools you can stand in that churn through my 3,000 life in like 1 second. No matter what defenses you have of any sort. It's absurd. But I don't know, I feel like it should be about that hard because the rewards you get are so crazy. I'm actually fine with it. I don't mind. Alright, into the belly of the beast. Easy. Lord Curious. Don't mind if I do. Oh, second guy? So little respect, I'll actually just auto-attack you. Victorious. Fate get. Fourth easy. Should have bought the other 2 pieces, shouldn't I? Oh, yeah. Can you go back? I've never had to teleport out and back in. Do they let you? I guess we're gonna find out now. Oh, no. I feel like I've failed you in a minor way, because when you asked for advice, one of my pieces of advice wasn't make sure to bring all 3 pieces at the end. Well, you know you're capable of it. It'll be so easy. Do it once, do it 1,000 times. Some people farm that thing, you know? Maybe that's you. Pieces of what? There's 3 things at the end of the trial, ultimatum trial, that you have to put into a door, and you essentially have to farm for them. Or you could buy them. My recommendation is 100% buy them, because I farmed them once. And I will never do that again. Just buy them. I must have beat Ultimatum easily 12 or 14 times. And then at the end, I had like 7 left ones, 5 middle ones, and then finally the first right one dropped. Like, they did not drop equally. Regenerating life and mana. So yeah, my recommendation instead of farming them is just to buy them because they don't drop equally. It has to do with which particular boss is the last one in your zone, and that's random. Like, they appear in different orders each time. Ooh, 2 spirits. Double spirit. Oh wait, there's another guy. Don't care about Amber. Not trying to do Amber. You sold yours? You actually farmed Ultimatum a fair amount last league? Same. I like farming Ultimatum. I find it kind of comfy. Even though it is kind of randomly annoying. It says on the inscribed ultimatums which piece you'll get. Really? Did they add that, or did I just not notice that the entirety of Season 1? Please tell me that was a recent addition and it's just not that I never read that. I've never used the chat of this game before. What am I looking for? I'm blind. I don't see a difference. They all say victorious. Oh, each of them gives you the victorious one at the end? Is that what that is? This one should say cowardly. No, they all say victorious to me. Oh, but in chat it says victor. Okay, so it's got to be like in your inventory. Interesting. All right. I learn something every day. I don't know if I might have some in the bank, but this league, I just kind of like one-shot all of them for the most part. So I might not have any in the bank. Let me look. I bet I got at least one or two. Mayhap.
Yes.
Content. I got a right. Yeah, I just have a right. Is right one of the ones you need? Okay, so I have the one that you have. Well, that sucks. I was just gonna give it to you. Bad luck. Is this thing good? Kinda. Like, max life is decent. I could maybe salvage it if I cared to. I kinda don't, but put it there anyway. Primate talisman, no thanks. Oh yeah, I was already in there.
HeyWoah. Break. You were no warrior.
Where am I going? Oh, here. All right. Oh, he's blue. Takes 2 shots to kill. All right, there's a breach, and there's a yellow, and then we'll do the boss. Breaching. I saw a lot of creatures around the corner back there. I should probably go to that one instead. Stuck inside of a wall. There we go. All right, we're out. Too many explosions. You can run your level 77 cowardly and hope it all goes well. Yeah. It's just kind of seen it, I think, a few times. And then there's like a definite time period where it's clearly too early for you to try to do it. Just based on your gear, probably, and to a lesser degree, your level. And all it takes is entering the place once and having to click on the first thing that kind of sucks for your class. And you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I should come back when I have a better weapon. Or, yeah, I should come back when such and such is the case. Are you resistant to fire? I was supposed to be a one-shot. Unfortunately, my map has disappeared now because of that, but I think it's open. Yeah, it's open. Okay. Hello. I can just tank this because I'm huge. Oh, I can't take that, though. Ground stuff doesn't count. As far as what we're basically immune to. As you can see, boss fights are kind of embarrassing still. I'm still in that having embarrassing boss fights part of a warrior. But clearing's pretty good.
Speak.
Have you found more of what we seek? If you must.
Spirits. Cool. Nice. More spirits.
Collect more otherworldly remnants.
Shield ground. Nope. How much armor are you sitting on right now? I just spec'd out of a decent amount of it to spec into some more shield block and damage. Right now I'm on 40,000. I'm on 40,000 armor, 7% additional physical damage reduction from the affix on my shield, and almost 100,000 armor applies to elemental. With capped reses including chaos and just a tiny bit of overcapped lightning because of a jewel. A little bit of overcapped block and 3,000 health. I've entered the has good gear stage of warrior at this point. After crafting that insano weapon and selling it for 40 div. I like crafting in this game now. I like crafting now. Who knew? You only had 13.4 armor so far, but you're not using Giant's Blood. Yeah, I kind of am. I don't think you really have to. I've seen Carnarius dual wielding one-handers, and it's actually pretty good, but he's doing some crazy shit to make it work. Including like nonsense converting this part of the passive tree into the abyssal demon one to take like this particular node, which changes when you're in the demon zone, to be the thing that the blood mages use that's OP, plus the thing that you can put in the lineage gem that's worth like 1,000,000 divs that makes it do bonus damage based on how much life you lost from casting it and stuff like that. So you can, I think you can do it. It's just extreme. And I've seen a lot of warriors just using a two-hander and no shield. Which I think is also probably fine. But I wanted to test out the defenses by trying to get everything. And seeing how all the mixing and matching can work. I will say though, this league that introduced Abyss, and like the first time we have kind of meaningfully good crafting, the worst piece of gear I have right now is better than the best piece of gear I ended the season with last season. And that's because they added crafting to the game. So like, the items people have on their characters are way better than they ever have been before. So the player power is, I think, considerably higher now. At least if you aren't playing, unless you're, I guess, you were playing some build last season that got nerfed or something because it was too good. So like maybe not that. But yeah, the gear people have access to, even just normal people like me, is way better. I don't know, that's fun though. I like it. I don't mind. Look, you can either be an ARPG where the loot drops on the ground, or you can be one where you make the loot yourself based off of materials that drop on the ground. And when PoE first came out, it was an ARPG where the good loot, for the most part, did not drop on the ground, but also you couldn't build it. And that was one of my chief complaints, besides that the endgame gets a little boring after a while. Because it's not complete, it's not finished. And so I appreciate them doing this part of it. There's a helmet mod that applies armor to chaos damage. Oh, is there really? What am I using right now? I'm just using increased armor on mine. I didn't know that. Wait, by helmet mod, do you mean like some unique helmet that has that as a mod? Oh, okay, a desecrated mod. All right, all right. And it's a Kurgle one. Well, I haven't used a desecrate on this yet. I could potentially drop the strength or armor also applies to elemental and try to fish for it. Because you can corrupt it and then get the one abyssal mod that makes your next annul rod or annul orb get rid of the desecration, and you can flip-flop back and forth and essentially endlessly fish for the single one that you want over and over. The only problem is that's ludicrously expensive to do, so you have to be rich. And I was only temporarily rich because I made one big sale. I'm not actually rich. I suppose if you're a credit card gamer, you could just do it, but I can't even put myself in the mindset of someone who would credit card through an unreleased game, but look, you do what you want with your money, I guess. Actually, maybe if you're a content creator, it's worth it, right? You can show off builds and stuff like that, I guess. No, it makes sense, because then you're just reinvesting into your streaming. Alright, I found the perfect excuse. We'll write it on. for like, suspicious website.ru, you know? Write it off on my taxes. Call it a business expense. Still, I might try to go for that eventually. Problem is, it's going to hit a random one, and you can tell it to only hit suffixes or something. Like that can work too, but you're still doing a 1 in 3 or maybe a 2 out of 3 for that first hit. But then it's going to adhere to the same slot every time, so at least you're locked in after that for that particular type of craft. But I think the annulment one is like several hundred exalted. So it's a long-term project. Each ring around. Is it still trendy to hate on PoE 2 in favor of PoE 1? Have people calmed down? I'm not sure. You know, I'm kind of... The word tourist is getting thrown around a little bit. And I don't consider myself a tourist because I think that has a negative connotation. But I'm new to the Path of Exile series. Like, Path of Exile 1... I remember when it came out, and I played it for about an hour, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'll come back to this later. And then I kind of forgot about it, and then Path of Exile 2 came out, and I really like it. So, like, that's my experience. Everybody tells me that PoE 1 is, like, has been the best ARPG ever for the longest time, and they're probably right, I'm not sure. But I missed the boat, in other words. So, I don't really have an opinion on PoE 1. Everybody says it's really good. It's supposed to be really complicated and have infinite variety and creativity and complexity. And I like all that stuff. Sounds good to me. But this is the new one, and I rather like it. So... I know that it's kind of a thing to shit on whatever the current season is every time the season starts with like content creators who've played Path of Exile for 7,000 hours, pretending like they aren't dying on purpose. or like just making foolish choices to pretend to crash out for, I don't know, viral clicks or something like that. So like that does happen, but this most recent season is so good. Even a lot of those ones are just like, yeah, okay, it's actually pretty good now. This is a big upgrade. That being said, you can play a game for a long time and not be any good at it. Like me in fighting games. Because sometimes getting good at it isn't really what you're trying to do. And that's fine too. I made a video about that. It's okay to be okay, is what I called it. I don't know if that's still what I called it. I might have changed the thumbnail or the name once or twice, but it's fine. It depends on what you're trying to do. Bird dead. 2 or 3 more rooms to go. Alright, now that I got that checkpoint, I need to go all the way down to the hand. Which I somehow missed. More. More. Please. More. Okay. Sphere. Sapphire ring. It's that same one. I've seen that one before. Alright, kind of light on loot there. Don't mind. I'm mostly here for XP. And farming spear rats. I think PoE 1 fans' issues with the game was more so PoE 1 being sidelined for PoE 2 for so long. One league in 1 year is rough when PoE 2 isn't your cup of tea. Yeah, that's true. Has that picked up, by the way? I actually don't know. Are they getting, I mean, maybe slightly delayed, but reasonable PoE 1 seasons now? Or is it still not happening? Look at this JoJo's Bizarre Adventure as pose this boss is doing. Hold up, why is he kinda, why does he need that? Why did they give him that? Man's assuming the position. What he doesn't know is this will take forever because I got to build up stun. And now it's he who is down bad.
I've nowhere to keep that.
Absolute size of your dude. He's big. He makes big stuff. Clapped him. I mean, it took a while. I have this entire stupid ass combo I gotta do. Like, you gotta sit there and build up stun and then knock him down, and then you summon the hammer, and then you do this thing, and then you do that, which does extra damage, and then you do this thing and you do that, and then the hammer drops. And if he hasn't died then, you do one ancestral this, and if he hasn't died then it's time to start it over again, and you're looking at your watch, you're wondering how many steps you got in, you're just sweating. Versus Witch, who actually just stands there, doesn't press any buttons, and all my pets will kill the boss in easily a quarter that time. But, as a trade-off, I'm way better at clearing maps than she is, so, you know, everybody's got their little special thing, I guess. Armor, energy shield, thorns, fire stun. No. The problem with crafting is now you look at every item and you start to, your brain doesn't work and you're like, could this be a fixer-upper? Everything could be a fixer-upper. I could do this or that or whatever. No possible way any of those are good.
Let us hope Zest now lies dormant. Who sent you?
Oh, you got the Cowardly Fate. It's time. The Trial Master. Just remember, red bad. Don't stand in the red. Avoid the red. And he does this thing where he's about to throw his spear at his feet. You gotta dodge that. He'll stop time a few times. It's not as bad as it seems. I say. The Time Lord guy is harder fight, I think, than Chaos guy. You just got a crazy expansion to the game recently, so they really apologized to the PoE1 community with delivering that. I mean, that's the way you do it. What's that old adage, you know? If you're a content creator, be it developers of a video game or a streamer or something, you know, the best apology is more good content. Just more good stuff. That's the best apology. I don't know, maybe a ukulele or something. Next. I'm just barely inside the circle with those few. None of them are boss maps. So I might be burning through my waystones. But I still got 70%, 78% for additional Asmiri spirits as we endlessly search for the attack speed the gloves talisman. Because I don't want to pay 6 divs for it. I'll farm for it myself. Thank you very much.
Come here.
Unless I find or craft another item that I can sell for 40 divs, and then I will just buy it. But until then, I'll farm for it. Stand on your principles. Oh, there's no boss there this time like there was in Act 4. You got one tapped? Alright, chat. Rip an hour of farming and 16 exalts.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer? Every night.
We lost a real one. His tracking is good. His tracking is good. But I bet now that you've seen it one time, you're very well equipped to just blast him next time. Next time easy. How broke are you? Do you need exalts? I could give you 16 exalts. It's not a big deal to me. Can you explain your clearing rotation versus the boss one? Yes. So clearing rotation is leap slam plus bone shatter. Now this is a combination. This is a combo. Just as Jonathan Rogers, game director at XL2, intended. He wants you to combo your abilities. That's the vision. And so I'm doing that. As soon as there aren't guys, and also there isn't a spirit that I have to follow, and it goes away if I don't follow it, I'll show the skills and more adequately explain it, unless you're joking. Unless the joke is like warrior is easy or something, and then good meme, you got me. Successfully trolled. You just don't want to crack the div. I get it. I get it. Sometimes you got a divine and you're just like, don't want to break this thing. It's precious to me. It's like an egg. Haven't played PoE 2, so you're learning. Ah, okay. So for warrior, and this goes for leveling as well, there really is no substitute to bone shatter. It's the way. Bone shatter is what will get you from level 1 to 90. It is the workhorse. There are a lot of other options. They are all worse. Now, you may be trying to do a particular build, which you'll pick up eventually, but at least 1 to 60 or something like that. Bone Shatter will carry you through. The whole thing with this ability is it attacks an enemy that is primed for stun, and primed for stun means their stun meter is full. And above their head, there'll be a little glowing thing, and so you'll know that it's there. And then when you do that, it blows that person up. They take 508% attack damage, and they also take 1,381%, your numbers may differ, percent AoE shockwave. And if that shockwave hits another enemy that also happens to be primed for stun, they too will blow up for that much again. So, let's say you have 10 enemies, they're all primed for stun, and then one boss one in the middle that isn't primed for stun. Well, you bone shatter one of those guys. That guy takes, whatever, it's 17,000 damage, and then blows up for 63,000 damage, and then all 10 of those other guys explode, and we have the chunky salsa effect, where they take 63,000 AoE times 10 because they're all overlapping, and one-shot the boss guy in the center of them, who takes 600,000 and just blows up. So Bone Shatter, good. How do we prime for stun, though? Well, to start with, you're actually just using Maze Strike, which is sadly kind of better than most of your abilities because they're too slow. Eventually, at level 22, you get Leap Slam, and this is the savior. All right, it's this thing. It is perfect because it is both a movement ability. You can leap places, right? So move a little faster. Sometimes you can even jump over stuff to save you time in a map instead of going around. Sometimes you can jump over stuff or across chasms. And then also it does an AoE damage thing. And it does 90% more stun buildup, so it's like a combo. So it becomes Leap Slam into a pack, press Bone Shatter, blow them all up, go to the next one. So like that's the 1-2 combo. Eventually your Leap Slam might start killing people, but only some of them, like not all of them, and then you use stuff like Brink. Stun buildup caused by supported skills cannot reach 100%. Hits with supported skills cause 50% more stun buildup. So what this does is it stops it prevents Leap Slam from fully stunning something. It stops right at the primed for stun phase, which is where we want to be with Bone Shatter. And so Brink really, they didn't used to have Brink, and they added it, and it really fixed the clunkiness of this. Because a lot of times Leap Slam would be like stunning people. We don't want them stunned. We want them almost stunned, right? So anyway, Brink is really good for that. I have more stun build up here. I'm even using right now Rapid Attacks 3, which is it gives me faster attack speed, so I get to jump faster. But then also, look at this, it has a huge downside, 50% less damage. Now, why would anyone take that? Well, actually, I was very happy to take it, because I don't want Leap Slam killing people either. Because if I just take this out, and I just level up Leap Slam to its fullest, notice it says 10 levels from Gem. My Leap Slam is level 10. Like, I never leveled it up after that, because otherwise it would do too much damage, and it would start to kill some guys. Now, it wouldn't kill all the guys, but it would kill some of them. And the whole point is that the most guys possible are primed for stun, so that we can have the biggest overlapping shockwave times 20 we have. And if Leap Slam kills half of them, then it's a smaller overlapping shockwave. See what I mean? So, as you level up and you get a better weapon, you might end up taking, like, Magnify, this thing, which makes it do less damage, or there's a Magnified Area thing that also makes it do less damage. And then sometimes you'll find you aren't doing enough as you level up, and so you'll take the gem out, so you'll do full damage again. It's, you know, as you level up, you'll kind of get a feel for it. And so you're getting in the, Goldilocks zone of that thing. And these will carry you all the way up to the end. Now, you can eventually level 70, 80 or something like that. If you have really good gear for your level, you can just use Leap Slam, take off all the ankle weights, and just kill people with Leap Slam. And I did that last season, where you just have one giant Leap Slam that does a shitload of damage. The reason why that's worse than Bone Shatter is that one giant Leap Slam, no matter how much damage, typically won't kill like elite boss guys. It'll kill everything else, but you'll leave the elite boss guy, depending on what modifiers you have on your map, at maybe half health or something. But an overlapping Bone Shatter will almost certainly blow them up. And so really after that, at that point, it's personal preference. I like the big overlapping stuff, but you can juice Leap Slam enough up to, I think, mostly kill everything. If you just want to press only one button instead of two, and that's the clear. And then the boss one, there's a bunch of different ways that warriors can try to attack bosses, and they're all pretty cringe, to be perfectly honest. You're not really, we used to be. At one time, we were very much a boss killer class. Now we're a can do the boss class. We're a boss doer, not exactly a boss killer, right? And so what I'm doing personally, and there's a bunch of different things you can do that are all about as good as each other, and nothing is actually great. You can do Perfect Strike with all of its many synergies, but that ability forces you to stand still and wind up this big giant swing that you have to release the button at the right time to do, and you're just planted in the same spot, immobile, playing a little rhythm game while things are jumping around. It's fucking awful. It does a lot of damage though. There's also Hammer of the Gods, which is its damage got nerfed a lot, but it still does something. It requires glory to use. You get glory by heavy stunning enemies. And so one heavy stun on a boss will allow one use of the hammer, and it drops a big hammer from the sky, which you saw. It's not enough to one-shot anything, but it's a lot anyway. And I've recently been using the shield wall thing, which puts a wall down, and then if you Warcry, it blows up the wall for actually a shitload of damage if you combo it. And it gives you bonus damage based on how much armor is on your shield. which right now is 1,065, which is a lot, but not a crazy amount. I bet you could get, I don't think you could get double that, but you could get a lot more than that. But you'd have to be pretty single-minded with your shield in that case. But all of the boss strategies involve stunning them, involve filling their stun meter and knocking them down, and then doing some big hit. And the ways to build their stun meter are all kind of bad and require you to stand still a lot. But then you topple the boss, and then you do whatever your big combo damage thing is, whether it be Hammer of the Gods or Shield Wall or Rolling Slam even. Perfect Strike was very common last season, less so this season. Even like whatever the overwhelming Giga Slam thing is, but I think that sucks. Sunder last season, but they nerfed it, so it's bad now. Anyway, because you can put all your good gems in any skill, it used to be only 1 rapid attacks for your whole character. Now it's 1 per skill. You can choose like maybe half of the abilities of the warrior, and if your gear is good, you can like make it work. The disparity between really good and okay is less. I was watching a warrior earlier today on a build that I didn't think was very good, and he was blasting anyway. You know? No big deal. Real question is, do you have a few clearing skills locked away in always and the rest are anti-boss, or do you swap builds? No, I just... They give you enough skills in your loadout that you can probably manage with all of them. I don't have like a bossing build, really. They do let you weapon swap, and when you swap weapons, it also can let you swap your passive points too. I don't do that because I don't really need to, but you could. So you see you have like weapon set 1 and 2. And you can, by the way, use the same weapons for weapon set 1 and 2. It's just like a designation of, it changes your spec a little bit. So for instance, this is the passive tree. For your talents, this is a talent tree. It's a little small right now, but they just added 150 new ones, and I can't wait till they do that again. Anyway, so like for instance, and they tend to do this, they put these right next to each other. So like, for instance, right here we have increased melee damage with hits at close range, melee damage hits at close range, and melee damage hits at close range, right? Close range hits on this side. And then over here we have increased area of effect, increased area of effect, increased area of effect. And so what they intend for you to do is in weapon set 1, that's the clearing one for AoE. And so you spec into AoE. And then you can turn on weapon set 2 and spec into single target so that when you're on a map, you're spec'd this way, and then you enter a boss room, press your weapon set button, and now you're in your single target spec. And so it just flops back and forth. And I don't know how many points they give you to do that with. It's like 25 or something like that. I haven't bothered, but it would be a little more optimal if I did, I guess. And it's more of a thing for some classes than others. Game seems to have quite a lot of depth compared to Diablo. I mean, if you asked a Path of Exile 1 player, they would say that PoE 2 is a baby game for babies with no depth. And relatively speaking, they would be right. But it's, let's just put it this way, it's for a certain type of person. Somebody who likes Palladium Rifts or trains. You know. Anyway, I fit right in. This shit's great. I want more. I want more complexity. I want more passive skills. This isn't enough. They don't give us enough points yet. I want more everything. And judging by how Path Exile 1 has gone, looks like we're going to get it. Just a matter of time. Also, the game's not even out yet. It's early access. So you get to play the beta for 30 bucks if you want to. Or free when it comes out. And as far as the shop is concerned, you can't buy power. Like, nothing in the in-game store or any such thing gives you any, like, material advantage in the game. You buy pretty outfits and costumes. You buy a lot of cosmetic stuff, and you can buy stash tabs. Now, stash tabs is, like, arguable. I guess being able to store more stuff is something of an advantage, but I'm not gonna really I don't know. I'm just not gonna quibble with it when they've been so adamant about sticking to it philosophically. Like, you can't pay money and skip the campaign. You can't do more damage. You can't get a weapon. You can't buy gold, you know. And I appreciate that in this day and age. As a tired old man who remembers when video games were good and men were men and all the rest, it's nice to see an ARPG that doesn't squeeze your wallet. Like a fucking phone game, you know? I'm gonna wait for that spirit to possess the guy. Become possessed. Boom. And now guys are going to come out of the ground there. And I'm going to wait for them to finish coming out of the ground because the boss is last. And I want to catch the boss in all of the AoE that we're going to do. Because that kills that guy. Now, had I not waited and done it first, then he probably would have still been alive. Then I got to single target him down. And we just talked about how our single target is kind of lame. So it's better to just blow him up, right? Just blow him up. And then clean up the little aftershock guys. I'm extra careful around abysses because they're really hard and they're really deadly. Because the loot they have and the items they can drop are so fucking overpowered that it's worth it. See, now this guy didn't have a lot of guys around him. I'm going to have to do some combos. Do a little FADC. And that wasn't that bad, but some of the Abyss guys can be really that bad. I got lucky there. Some of them are just invincible for a while, and I'm not sure why. Researchers, we'll juice that up. I mean, stash tabs are truly beneficial. So there is that. But they don't count it as player power or character power, and I think I basically agree. And for like 10 years, they've been never breaking that rule of like you can buy a weapon, you can buy money or anything. They've never done any of that, so I'll give them the benefit of the doubt on that. On that one. You see a game like this working well in an AOS setting? I mean, you could put an Age of Sigmar skin over the skeleton of the mechanics of a game like this. Just like they put a 40k skin over the skeleton of Left 4 Dead 2, right? With, what's that one called? That just came out, kind of recently. And it, like, completely wasn't done and had almost no content. And it didn't look good. Basically Left 4 Dead clone except 40k. Had like 3 maps or something. Kind of wished it was Helldivers, but it wasn't. I can't remember what it's called. Anyway, yeah, Darktide, that's it. So you could do that. You could just put a Age of Sigmar skin over this game's mechanics and engine and stuff, and that would be really cool. I mean, one of the things we're really waiting for is an Age of Sigmar game that's worth a single goddamn. And we haven't even come close to getting it yet, but someday we might accidentally get that. And it would be really good for the game if eventually we did. Here's hoping. But then again, I like ARPGs. Or rather, I like Diablo, which happens to be an ARPG. How do you work out what loot you want? Seems like a million colors are on the screen and you avoid most of it. Yeah, so there's a place called Filter Blade, which is a website you can go to that PoE essentially officially endorses. Like they're like, yeah, go use this. And you can create your own loot filter and just click a button that loads it right into the game. Go to options, game, item filter, hey min, and hey, you know? And then you can designate any sort of, like you can have it play sound effects. You can have it hide certain stuff or show other stuff. Make tier lists out of the possible stuff that can drop. Change the colors of it, change the size of all the stuff. You can even have it over time change. So you make I made a loot filter that when I'm still leveling up, it shows me this kind of stuff. But then once I'm in the end game, it shows me that kind of stuff and hides other stuff. Make it per character. The only problem with it is you got to sit there and like, it has a default setting and the default setting is really good. But it would be nice to customize it and it takes a little while to customize it. So you got to be a little patient with it. As far as like what to pick up and what not to pick up, I'm still not really good at that. It looks like I'm kind of good at that. I assure you, I'm nothing compared to some of these people that I'm watching now every once in a while. The Alkaisers and the Woolies and the Bens and the DS Lily, I think is another one. There's a ton of PoE streamers and they look at something and in a millisecond they know whether it's good or not. Except unlike me, they really do know instead of me just guessing. They can look at a tooltip for essentially 1/60th of a second and be like, trash. Or they could tell you what you can build out of it and what class wants it and how much it's worth or whatever. It's kind of cool to watch, to be honest. Oh, sorry, there was a YouTube question. Just got a crazy expansion for the game recently, so yeah, they really apologized for the PoE 1. Oh yeah, really enjoyed your commander video, by the way. It says, haha, mustard. Really straightforward and easy to understand and follow. Was always a bit lost on how to make your own deck, and your vid really helped, boss. Thanks. Good, yeah, I put some work into that, but I was hoping to pass my knowledge on. It might be too long for normal people to click on, but I bet Magic players would click on something that's 45 minutes. And using a little PNG avatar, what with 3/3 elks and trinket mages and salubrious snails all over the place, it seems like Magic Commander players are used to looking at little PNGs tell them how to build a deck. So I felt like it'd be right up that same alley. Anyway, long story short, how do you get good at knowing stuff? Just play a lot and eventually you'll pick some stuff up, but it's a never-ending process and I'm still pretty new to it as well. And playing in Trade League is even worse, because it's one thing to know what you want. In fact, that's kind of easy, knowing what you want. But if you're playing in Trade League and some bow drops and you've never played a bow character before, like, I bet I have missed or just didn't know about 10 divines worth of stuff I could have sold for some other class that I just have never played and I don't know what's good. Probably even more than that. And you just gotta learn to let go. Buildy belt. Oh, there's another breach. Cool. It procced the 2 breach thing. Nice. Nice-oo. Essence of abrasion. Corrupt it. This particular zone has a shadow flash when you cross over certain panes. It's clear that the devs are just releasing stuff the moment they're done with it. They're like, fuck it, get it out, put it in testing. Have 1 million people play with it. We'll fix it later. Except, like, they actually will. Crushing. Canyon complete. Sorry. Canyon is done when I say it's done. I'm gonna breach. Chill. Alright, I chose the wrong direction. I chose the wrong direction. It's this way. The way with more guys. Breach is only open for so long. No. And it's gone. Alright, good shit. I have quite enough of those. And more than I'll ever use, I think. A little robot that blows up. Cute little guy. You play Giant's Blood Teabag Slam build, it's fun. It is fun. I find it satisfying. I rather just like the combo. Leap Slam, Bone Shatter.
If you must.
I mean, I better like the combo. I've been playing it for 90 whatever levels.
Take our gold and go.
I just think it's neat.
Zest is a strange.
And it happens to be the best clear in Warrior. Although I don't know what the totem people are doing. Maybe that's better now. But anybody can use Bone Shatter. Doesn't really matter. You gotta be pretty specific to do the other stuff. Started putting those in here too. Did I fill up content? No. You don't like Rolling Slam? I hate Rolling Slam. I don't like Rolling Slam. It moves you too much. Well, okay, it's way too slow, first of all. And it moves you too much. If you're trying to Rolling Slam a boss, half the time you're like, it forces you to like squiggle around him in this weird circle. It's just fucking awkward. And everyone pounds on you when you're doing it. And yeah, the damage numbers look high, but I don't like it. I mean, you'll use it when you're level 3 or something, but yeah, everybody hates Rolling Slam. But then again, I don't like a lot of warrior abilities because they're all inherently too slow and awkward and stationary. But it's not, I guess maybe it's not really warrior abilities, it's just maces. Earth Shatter for one-shotting bosses. I've seen some people do Earth Shatter. It's weird. I've never done Earth Shatter. I did Perfect Strike last season and Hammer of the Gods season 1 for like boss damage. Perfect Strike was actually pretty sick as far as damage is concerned last season. Now I hate that ability because it forces you to sit still and do this unbelievably long, stupid wind up and then release a button at the right time. Like, it's so stationary and slow and turret-like. But the damage numbers were so high that you just had to use it, unfortunately. But now they nerfed the damage of it, and so it's more competitive with other stuff. Earth Shatter 3 times, Forge Hammer, Infernal Cry. Boss dead. Then just spam Earth Shatter to pulse. Okay, so it's kind of like the new shield wall thing. I'm doing a similar thing with the with shield wall. Maybe Earth Shatter would just be better, you know, where you like do that, and then blow them all up. Oh, Delirium, sure. Don't mind if I do.
Heal yourself.
Remind me to go back to that altar, but I'm not doing it during Delirium. This is a pretty dense map. We got a lot of guys in this map. You love to see it. What are you doing with your fucking rock? I don't know what those orb guys actually do. They seem to drop a rock on their own head and just die. What is that? What did GGG mean by that? Cheap viewers? Somebody shoot that guy. Trying to run a business over here. Can't be having Riff Raff come in. Trying to sell me view bots. You know, Twitch is like cracking down on view bots right now. How are you gonna do that right? Alright. Hey, get banned, robot. The only one who can sell out in my channel is me. Eat shit. Weak. Meat creature. Yeah, I bet Bone Shatter, I bet Earth Shatter does do more than Shield Wall. You'd think it would, because like Shield Wall is a shield ability, right? It probably does less than like a damage ability. I have almost died every time I've landed in the center of one of those. I don't know if anyone is paying attention to my HP. But those Abyss degens are serious. That's some serious damage. Absolute yo-yo life total. I think this is why we put Leech on Bone Shatter. So I heal for 600,000 every time I press the button. Alright, is that it? I know I left some stuff on the ground way back over there, but I'll get to it. Are you like... Alright, there we go. Knits. Some other stuff. Precursor tablets I don't care about. Oh, there is a depth. So. Alright, so there's also an abyssal depth. I know exactly what hammer this is, and it sucks. I tend to do the abyss, the depths last. For no real reason. Just still, we're still in delirium, so I don't want to, you know, I want to get all the delirious juice that we can accrue. Oh, time ran out. Hey, all right. Thank you. Alright, now what did I miss? Put Taste of Blood on your amulet and you are full hit point every kill. From liquids. Yeah, what do I have on it? I have the shield one right now. I got Lay Siege for percent increased damage equal to the shield block value, which is 52. And I actually just put Life Leech on Bone Shatter and that's it. So like it could be another support that buffs damage, but I basically kill everyone in one shot anyway, so it's fine. It's sort of like a life potion, I guess. What was I looking for again? Oh yeah, where was I going? Where was I going and what was I doing? What was I moving towards? It's been so long. I've been playing the Witch too much. Am I making my way over to Skull Crusher, maybe? I'm fairly compact here because I'm trying to stay in these circles. Is this 52 out of 52? It is, okay. I would have to get... What is it? I would have to get the max node if I was trying to do that. I suppose I could take Aftershock AoE, but I don't really do Aftershocks that much. Damage prevented recouped as life. I think recoup kind of sucks though. I could take this even though it's an underwhelming node because I get bonus node juice from it, I guess. It's like 5% armor, 20% melee. That's okay. What even level am I? 93. Maybe Bink, 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 because Skull Crusher really would tie the room together. The reason this node is so good is that unlike almost every other passive, it does say more instead of increased. And for the new players in chat, more is multiplicative and increased is additive. I.e., more great, increased pretty good. I mean, it's sort of far away, but I think that's the way. I'll just slowly work my way towards it. I can slurp up the 22% on these tiny nodes instead of being 14s because of hulking form. I feel like this web of skills needs notes you can write to guide you 2 hours later when you level up again. Yeah, sometimes I forget what I was working on. I'm like, now where was I? What was I moving towards again? So I do forget sometimes. But I don't know. I could take notes if I wanted to. And I guess I didn't, because I didn't take notes. Well, there's a skull up there. Might as well get him. That guy. Checkpoint for the boss probably, which will be good to get. Nope, just a normal checkpoint. Begin the ritual. thought those stones would just hang there in the air. You guys gonna stay there? Or are you coming down? Meat creature. Nope, there's one left. It's way up there. Oh, it's next to a spirit too. I didn't even notice. And a cartographer strongbox. Sure. Sure. Give me a bunch of maps. Thank you. Doesn't go through. What was that explosion? Oh, these guys, okay. I'm not gonna click it because I don't know if they fixed that bug or not. But sometimes if there's an extra guy that's normally outside, and it happens to be a particular type of goblin or whatever, I've had a ritual that got kind of screwed over. Because when the ritual starts, that particular goblin becomes invincible. And then you can't complete the ritual. Which happened to me one time, and so now I'm extra careful. I mean, they probably maybe fixed it, who knows, but... You know, no need to stick your neck out. Okay, what do we got here? I'll take the twigs, first of all. Actual loot in here is just literally never good. Fully recharge, life mana energy shield when you reach low life. Nah. I do the preserve XP ones if I find them, but not the other stuff. Reroll. Omen of chaotic quantity. Your next Chaos Orb will replace all modifiers on a Waystone with modifiers that grant pack size. Big? I'll take it. Sounds cool. Oh, they can save one that has like temporal chains on it, so you don't want to run it then. That's kind of cool. And then this other stuff. No. Just waiting on the game to catch up. There we go. Okay. I guess I'll take this and this. And you can keep the rest. It's trash. Sorry, Spirit. I'll be right back. It's my bags are really full. A shitload of unique items dropped, and I know they're probably all bad, but... Lightning res when you take lightning damage, increase charges gained, grants frenzy charge. I don't know what that means. I'm just gonna put all these in the fucking thing. I'll deal with them later. And then the ones that I already have, I'll just trash.
Who sent you?
Dunk it.
Collect more otherworldly remnants.
Okay. Back to work. Where was I? There was a spirit 1 inch away. Alright, what's the journey we're going on? I need that glove enchant spirit. I don't know if you're the vivid one or not. I'm not sure which color means what, to be honest. Oh, this guy? The chicken? The little turkey vulture there? Oh, it wasn't the thing. But hey, alright. Map complete. However, there's still an abyssal depths we gotta jump into. Oh, I tripped. I hope this one has the boss in it. I think those are cool. It might be called something different though. Nope, no boss. Nice. No special boss guy. Oh, cool. Tons of little special men. It's the shittiest type of two-hander, but I'll pick it up, I guess. Just to look. Superior. Good. I'm glad you suck. Wait, I think there's one more chest here, even though it's a tiny one. It might not be good. I don't know if people are skipping all of the ones except the ones at the end of the room, like northwest always. But I don't know. I prefer to open the stuff if it gives it to us. And the one east. Oh, rewarded for my diligence. Thank you. The rich get richer. I was thinking about just leaving, and then I get a Desecrate reroll mod. Rewarded. My dearest woe, says Effidal. We'll be making a new Every Army of Age of Sigmar 2025 edition. Probably not. But 2026, probably. If not, which movie should I watch if I'm picking up Chaos Dwarves as my first AOS army? I haven't thought about it too much. And I don't know too much about the army. But I'm going to go out on a limb and say 1991 Hook, starring Robert Williams as Peter Pan and Dustin Hoffman as Captain James Hook. Without thinking about it too long, that's my pick. Hoffman plays a great Hook. Feels like kind of good for being a level 60 shield. Like this is like the first pretty good shield you get while leveling up, kinda.
You did well. What do you need?
Or it could be in another world. What I miss? Blasting. PoE. Path to Exile. I'm in it. I'm all over it. Game's great. How you been, Mr. Shorty Paint Studios? Game updated. Might go back in, bud. They got Act 4. Cruel difficulty's gone. You don't have to play through the campaign twice. Act 4 is kind of nice. They got interlude stuff. All classes buffed. You can use the same skill gem multiple times per character. Now it's only once per skill. So you can use rapid attacks like 7 times and just play a bunch of different abilities finally. It's sick. Anyway, log in. Game's great. Log in. You got to get through the second act boss. Still, the guy who chops the train in half, he is a gear check. Like your first hard stop kind of gear check time period, I think, when you're leveling up, in my opinion, is that guy. When you get to the train car zone, like that zone itself with all of its monsters and you're jumping from car to car, is a big jump in difficulty as far as the campaign goes, and then that boss. He's like a moment where they're like, hey, you know that all the gear you're wearing that you have not upgraded or even looked at for a long time, you might have to do that now. Sort of a little wake-up call boss, I think. Not even boss, just like zone plus boss. I mean, he's sick though. 2 big phases, a little thing to learn. Cuts a train in half, big sword. He's great. Can you guys maybe chill? I'm trying to open a chest here. Thank you. Nice beam. Empyrean Edge. Tier 8, Tier 9, Tier 1 accuracy. How dare you be shaded blue? You built a flying KO. Oh, Portatardies, yeah. Dude, I kind of like that thing. And mechanically, I like having little robots that run around and do stuff. I just think that's kind of cool. And sort of appropriate. That looked like the spear that stops you from being able to use ranged attacks, but it does a bunch of damage in melee. Kind of looks like a knight on horseback lance. More than a spear exactly. Yep. Splash damage, cannot use projectile attacks. Ooh, Lazuli. Little Lapis Lazuli. Is this a thorns build? It's not. I just sprout thorns from my body sometimes when I break other people's armor from scavenged plating. If I break armor, I get 20% more armor, essentially. Above and beyond what I already have. And Bone Shatter is causing armor break. So when I do the AoE, it technically, slightly before it kills everyone, it heavy stuns and breaks their armor. And so I get all the bonuses from that. And I can walk around and be slightly huger for a little while. Picking up blues is actually good now, again. Azure Ami. Big, it is big. It's the screen exploder. Like that's the build. It's only like just kind of okay against bosses and stuff. But it is the screen exploder when you're trying to do maps. And I have a character for bossing, so we're good there. I mean, he's alright. He's not hopeless. But he's not built for it. Actually, he's kind of built for it. He's very good at surviving boss attacks because he's so fucking huge, but
Come here!
the damage and stuff isn't quite there. Wait, spirit? Spirit detected?
Feel my wrath!
I gotta wait for him to fully absorb the thing before I attack, because sometimes if you attack him too quick, it ruins it. And also sometimes the game freezes because it is early access. Sound effect, it took a while to wear off there. No big deal. We're marked safe. Alright, boom. Now where does the spirit go next? I will just physically attack you since I have to wait for this spirit anyway. There we go, that guy. Grounding charm. Were you a big Minions kind of guy, Shorty Paint Studios? I can't recall. Are you a Minions enjoyer? Oh, there's a... I missed a guy. I missed one. I know you liked Druid much as I. I, too, was a Druid enjoyer in Diablo 2. Big melee dude. Ah, okay, okay. Did you hear the news? The next huge patch, or rather the next season of PoE, the Druid. Word on the street. Next big season, the Druid class is entering the game. And I can't wait. Plus, it would get a little, I don't know. Like, I like Warrior and everything, but 4 seasons of Warrior might be a bit much. It'd be interesting to try out a new class. There he is. You're playing the monk? The monk is great. I don't know about this season, but I missed. They gave us Thor's hammer that we can recall if we press the button again. And if you do a war shout next to it, it blows up and looks cool. Anyway, it mostly just looks cool.
Yes.
Have you found more of what we seek? If you must.
Max life, fire chaos. That's worth like an exalt or two. I'll sell that to somebody who's leveling up. Wait, what was that? Hold up.
A deal is made. Collect more of
Those go in the stash. They don't get sold. What was I thinking? Mana flask recovery rate, mana flask gain 2 charges per second. That must be for leveling up. Takati's E-Ray. Poisons from supported skills deal damage 1% faster per ray. Is this thing worth anything? I guess I could just look. Takati. It is not. It is not worth anything. Prefix. Do I have any of those one things? What are they called? It doesn't look like it. I think they're green.
Yes.
Abyss. What's the thing called? Chance Orb. Moment of the Ancients. Do I have any of those? No. Okay. I wondered if I had any. Holy shit, just did the 4th floor of Sekihama. First try, entered boss fight with 1700 honor. Came out with 928. Alright, wrap it up. Easy. So 4th. 4th Ascendancy acquired. Should be big. Alright, hot swapping from Titan back to the Cocaine Ant Maiden. HeyWoah on Twitch is filmed in front of a live studio audience. Or it used to be. The audience may or may not still be alive. I have 2 places here, 2 places here. I ran out of any maps, I think, that even have any stuff in them. Oh wait, I have this one. But I can only get there via over here, so that's just not happening. Where's my circle? That one's technically still in? Alright, let's do it. Options, game. Hey minions. I'm alive. I'm still here. It wasn't a comment about the chat. It was about like me being in front of an undead studio audience or a bunch of skeletons or something. I didn't really equate it to the chat actually. Although I could see how it came off that way. I should have been more careful. I'm also here. True. I was here. Don't stand in the green stuff. That's the whole game now. Don't stand in the stuff. Minion build OP? It is. The warrior is better at mapping though. He kills more guys faster and is more invincible in maps. So there is that. He's got that going for him. But minion build is still okay. It's slow. That's the only problem with it. Kind of the problem with most minion builds in most games is that they're slow. That's the balancing factor. But they shit on bosses. It's not even fair. The ants are on too much cocaine. They can't be reasoned with.
Another corpse to serve me.
Almost there. Don't give up now. The hunt
Ooh,
begins.
another spirit. Where's this one going? 3:45 a.m. in Sweden. Should get some sleep. Hey, don't worry about it. I don't know what your normal sleep schedule is, but thanks for stopping by. That hurt a lot as I was reading chat. It's fine. Luckily, I have 7,000 energy shield, so I was able to save me. And damage takes out of my mana before my health, and I have 1,000 of that. Anything just to technically not die, so that my minions can stay alive longer. Oh wait, where'd that spirit go? Oh, I fell. There it is. Greater Exalted Orb? Yes. I love Greater Exalted Orbs. The new Greater and Perfect Orb thing is so nice. So nice.
There's a target. Strike fast. I'm glad you were here.
It's about time.
That's the one. Put it down.
Death, take you.
Strike before it slips away. Strike before it slips away. Come on now. Let's end this. Come on now. Let's end this.
Oh, another spirit? Let's go. Every additional spirit is another chance at the talisman. Map complete. No boss. Aw. Wasn't there something I was going to do? No, I don't think so. There's no pit. There's no pizza pit.
trust is a strange.
Oh. Is this a thing? No. It is not a thing.
So then,
Battle monsters. Stone buildup. Ignited ground. Monsters are evasive. Monsters break armor. Sure. I'll do all of it. Is there any one of these that has any juice left in it? I don't think so. What about this one? This one only has 43% more spirit. But we'll do it anyway. Got some big mythics finished. Big Dam. Big Dam, big eye level. Pre-raid Biss. Any pre-raid Biss found? Now do you need to hit higher keys to get the pre-raid Biss? What's a high key nowadays? 15? 20? $15, yeah. Finally getting through 5s without trouble. Nice. Who's the tank? Who's tanking? Who's tanking? Who's healing?
Another corpse to serve me.
Pigeon usually tanks and Plibart or Froga is off tank. Healers are everyone's GFs. Well, that's true. Plibit off tank? Plibit tank?
his cry. Put it down.
This spirit is moving away from the closest unique named. Why? Like there was a rare right there. Bro. Please. Oh, you wanted to take me to this guy, huh? Okay. Got him. Glad you had me walk all the way over here. Always know she was a brewer type. Oh, Brewmaster. Of course Plibit would play the monk. How could I have... There's no other choice. Is she a Dragonborn? What's the race? If a Dragonborn can be a monk, I'm guessing Dragonborn monk. But if they can't be a monk, then panda. Like, I think Plibbit, chooses panda in character select. I won't explain myself. That's just what's happening in my head.
None can oppose.
Tauren monk named Girl Beef. That was my third guess. Alright, good shit. Ooh, she's a Tauren enjoyer? Jesus. How did a nitwit like you get so tasteful? Massive great hammer. Massive Lee trash. Wait, blue? Blues can be better than yellows now because of crafting. Trash. Loves cowing it up. So my family's looking for beef. Good guild finally got just about everybody into the end game content. Nice. You got that second wave in there and possibly even the third wave in there.
Fancy seeing you here.
Oh, another spirit. Purple spirit. Great. Friend talked you into trying out Classic again. Tauren Shaman named Tatonka. And you have to raise your hands to your head when you say his name, yeah. Plib keeps asking what it'll take me to get on World of Warcraft. Dude, I would be like the Encino Man. And Plibbit would get that reference. I would be like Encino Man. From another time, ancient, looking at cell phones and fucking televisions and stuff in modern WoW, being like, oh, my medication. What is all this? What is all this new stuff? In my day, we pressed heroic strike and it modified your next swing. So you used the swing timer mod. Need macro it to start attack.
Follow that whip. Don't stop. Sharp, that beast is marked. I'm glad you were here.
That beast. Dude, beast is B-E-A-S-T. Man's putting another 4 vowels inside that word that do not belong. But I appreciate it. Oh, we did it. Be our max in the orbital doom fortress. Oh, I thought you were talking about Mighty Max, like the old guy, but you meant Limit Maximum. Calling the shots, and like when you got the 5-man boss and he's almost dead. Let's go! Let's go! Fuck Walmart. Yee. Alright, ready to move out of it. 3, 2, 1, move. Okay, you didn't move. That's what it would be. That's what it would be. It'd be that for hours. Alright, Spirit Link now. Get in the Spirit Link. No, get in the Spirit Link. Okay, you're dead. We'll try again. Darkness. Johnny Devo. Nice. Turbo Bossies. And 13 irradiated, no thanks.
I think not.
NTY, no thanks. I can't fit an amulet, a single wrapped sandals. I know what those are, fuck you. I already have those.
Yes.
I'm gonna say something,
Who sent you? If you
and I understand the amount of Path of Exile 2 I have played in the past exactly 1 week, okay? The last 1 week, I'm aware of how much PoE I have played. So let me begin this sentence with that, okay? I don't know if I have time
possessed now lies dormant.
to play World of Warcraft. Committed to the bit, chomping at the bit. That being said, PoE 2, like, I feel like I'm probably closing in on being done. I've done everything. I killed all the pinnacle bosses. I'm just farming maps for shits and giggles at this point. I have 2 characters that have, like, 1 possible upgrade, maybe. But aside from that, they're just in not perfect gear, but pretty damn good. And I'm just, like, in the end game now. I'm in the part of the end game where you just sort of farm shit to farm shit. And there isn't really a true end game in the game yet. All this stuff is just a placeholder. Suppose, like, just go to the Atlas and move around a little bit. You know, discover the new things. I wanted to see what the new different maps looked like. The swirly whirlies that you can cleanse. All the different... do the breach boss and do the delirium boss and do the... Oh, I didn't do the fire guy, actually. I did the fire guy last season. I didn't do the Arbiter of Ash this season. I suppose I could do that. But I don't think the PoE 2 is going to last much more than during this week, because I've kind of done everything. Ish. Just want to pass along the yearn for the woe on Guild Night. I mean, it could be fun. I finally recall a lot of World of Warcraft stuff. I'll tell you what, I'll think about it. Boy, would I be out of practice, though. Yeah, having the guild does make the game way more fun. I think some of the guys that I used to play on a million private servers, classic versions with, play on retail, but it's only like 3 of them. Down from 25 or so in the classic days. I thought I was free. I thought I was free of the mistress. Anyway, good shit. I might be calling it. I think I'll call it for the night. It was a fine sesh. Good grind, Dan. Can't kick the monkey. True. Anyway, big news approaches. Stay tuned. TY for watching. Appreciate it. I might have an Age of Sigmar show pretty soon. Keep an eye on the Discord. And TY for watching, and thanks for the subs at the very beginning. Appreciate it. Maybe you know what? I think I should do the Arbiter of Ash and get the Crisis Fragments and stuff. I might as well do those things this season again. I did them last season, but I might as well do them this. I got way better gear this time. Yeah, maybe we'll do that tomorrow. Be a nice little thing to end the absolute streak of Pota. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you guys tomorrow.